I have managed to gain 20 pounds of vegan muscle from 190 pounds to 210 pounds in just about 2 months. I'm giving you guys the full breakdown in this video, and I'm sure there's gonna be some things that you haven't heard about before. So without further ado, let's get right into it. What's going on, everybody? It's your man Cole Hastings. We're back with another video. If you're new here, this channel is all about building your body and mind through a plant-based diet, as well as personal development topics, so consider subscribing. So let's get into the video. From 190 to 210 pounds in 2 months. I actually started bulking before this 2-month period, but I was failing. Why? Because I wasn't using the steps that I'm about to show you guys. There's 5 steps I want to go over that when I actually put these in motion, I started gaining muscle much quicker. So we're gonna get into the first step right now. Okay, so the first one, a lot of people, which is surprising to me, honestly just don't know how to eat over their maintenance calories. So first off, if you don't know how to do that, look up TDEE calculator online, use it, find your calorie mark for hitting your maintenance calories, and then you got to eat above that. And I suggest you guys eat like at least 500 calories above that if you really want to gain a lot of muscle very quickly. But with that out of the way, this goes hand in hand with that kind of. If you're not seeing the results you want gaining muscle, this is really who this video is intended for. People who are trying to gain muscle quickly and really have struggled to gain muscle quickly. If you are, then whatever you're eating, I would say pretty much almost double it. Yes, double the amount of food you are eating. Yeah, this sounds pretty tough, and it was for me at the start. Honestly, my body was so used to eating the amount of calories I was eating every day, which definitely was not enough to bulk, that when I actually started trying to eat that much, I was like, oh my God, I can't do this. Because vegan food is also a lot less calorically dense. I might get into that more towards the end of the video, but yeah, I really had to start force feeding myself at some points, and I would suggest that you start eating from right when you wake up, right when you go to bed, if you're really trying to gain muscle as quickly as possible. Which is tough because then your whole day pretty much revolves around food, but before this, my whole day revolved around food anyway. So just take any meal you eat, I'm sure you eat around the serving size, and just double that. And if that's too hard for you, if you're really struggling with eating huge meals, what you should be doing is eating more frequent meals throughout the day. And that also means snacking. Snacking is actually good for bulking on a vegan diet. It's okay to have some processed foods, but that goes on to my next step. I'm not gonna talk about that just yet. Okay, so the second point might come as a shocker to you, but you'll probably be pretty happy that I'm telling you this. You should probably be eating around 20% processed foods. Yes, processed foods. I'm telling you to eat them as a vegan. This is because you're following the 80-20 rule, which says 80% of your diet, I've talked about this in previous videos, 80% of your diet should be whole foods, and then 20% should be processed foods. Maybe even a little bit more than that, but keep it a little low, keep it like 20%. So that means snacking, like I said. You wanna start snacking, guys. If you have chips in your house, eat those with some hummus. That's one of my favorite all-time snacks is chips with hummus. Bananas are one of the best just bulking fruits because they're so easy to eat. They're small and they're 100 calories each, and they're very digestible. They're very easy to eat. If you tried this with just 100% whole foods, it's gonna be a lot harder, and it's gonna be a lot harder on your digestive system because whole foods are not as calorically dense. That's why it's okay to eat processed foods sometimes, but that can't make up the majority of your diet, obviously. And whole foods also have a ton of fiber in it, which is one of the main things to actually feeling full. So like 20% processed foods, snack throughout the day. You gotta do it. I'm sorry, you might feel a little crappy, but we're here to make gains. We're here to give you guys the gains. And that's my Christmas present to you this year. The third thing, this is probably one of the biggest ones. I started taking creatine around this point. Creatine is amazing for building size and strength. There's so much research on it, on how good it is for building size and strength. There is some controversy because people think it has some negative side effects, but these are still up in the air. We don't really know. I think you should only take pure creatine monohydrate. I take 5 grams a day. That's around what you want to take, 3 to 5 grams a day, depending on your body weight. And I've done this before. I've actually taken creatine about a year ago in the past when I first went vegan, and I didn't see the results I wanted because I just didn't wait long enough. It takes a while, around a month, for your muscles to actually get saturated by creatine. It takes like a month to kick in if you're only doing 5 grams a day. But once you do, man, you will see an increase in your size a ton and an increase in strength a ton. I'm the strongest and biggest I've ever been thanks to creatine and thanks to bulking, of course, just eating more calories in general. But yeah, pure creatine monohydrate. I'm going to leave a link in the description to the creatine monohydrate I've used to gain 20 pounds of lean muscle, so you guys can check that out. Do some research on creatine for yourselves if you want to as well before you buy it, but I would suggest it, and that is point number 3. So let's get on to the next point. Point number 4, compound lifts, but probably heavier than you're doing. So I start off pretty much every workout with a 5x5 of a compound lift, and I highly suggest that too. You might have heard the like 8 to 10 or 8 to 12 reps is perfect for building muscle. No, wrong. You need to be varying your rep range, guys. You need to do even as low as 4 reps is still okay for building muscle. And it's gonna have you using weight that you've never used before, which is gonna be amazing for muscle growth. So yeah, a huge part of this is eating, but you also need to be doing those compound lifts in the gym. Bench press, squats, deadlifts. I started deadlifting around this time too. That might be, you know, one of the catalysts to my muscle growth. Who knows, because it's one of the best compound lifts you can do. So bench, squat, deadlift, pull-ups, stuff like that. Things that work more than one muscle group at once are huge for gaining muscle. And I'm telling you guys, lower the reps, increase the weight. You can still do 8 to 10 reps on some stuff, but really you should be focusing on those compound lifts and doing like 5x5s, something like that right at the start of your workout. And last, but definitely not least, maybe most, is you need to be sleeping at least 7 hours a night. So for those of you who don't know yet, the primary time that your muscles actually build is not in the gym. That is the opposite. That's when muscles are broken down. The primary time that muscles are built is when you are asleep, when you are in deep sleep. So let me go over these sleep cycles and how each one affiliates with muscle growth. So the first stage is when you've kind of just fell asleep and dozed off, but you can still be easily woken. This is also like right before you wake up, you're still in this stage. This is just stage 1. Stage 2 is categorized by some light brain activity. Your brain slows down and you get more into that deep sleep. And this is also the stage where human growth hormone starts getting produced. And human growth hormone, one of the biggest things to muscle growth, what it does is repairs the muscle tissue. Then we got stage 3, which is definitely the most important and restorative process during all of sleep. This is when blood supply to the muscle really increases. This is when even more HGH gets produced. And this HGH repairs muscles and also supports your immune system function and your metabolism. And also an anti-inflammatory hormone called prolactin gets released during this stage, so it's just anti-inflammatory. It will reduce some of that inflammation that you have after a workout. And then there's stage 4, which is the REM stage, the rapid eye movement stage, and this is when just more oxygen gets supplied to the muscles and breaks down some of that lactic acid. If you're not sleeping at least 7 hours a night, you're not gonna see the muscle growth you wanna see. It's as simple as that. Sleep is the most important time for muscle growth. You should not be neglecting this because you think you should be going hard all the time. Sleep is for pussies. That is a huge myth, guys. Sleep is the most important time for your brain to recover, for your body to recover, and it just regulates everything in your body. Do not neglect sleep. Stop staying up all night. Just don't do it anymore if you want to gain muscle. So those are the 5 ways that I've managed to gain about 20 pounds in 2 months from a vegan diet, and I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I hope you can take something from this. Leave a comment if you have any more questions, and leave a like for me if you enjoyed the video. But I'm gonna sign off. Hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.